In a world where you can be anything, be kind. A single act of kindness can inspire a chain reaction of compassion, and empathy. When we prioritize kindness in our daily lives, we create a culture of collaboration, creativity, and mutual respect. Good morning to our amazing viewers, and welcome to today's edition of Non-Streaming Morning Show Live, show reaching you from the ACNNTV. I am Princess Clement, your anchor for today. And as usual, I am not alone in the studio. With me is my co-anchor, Femi Ogundare. And also with us is the Venerable Joseph Onaya, JP, Director of Civic and Political Affairs of the Church of Nigeria, and the chaplain to the National Assembly. Good morning to us.
Good morning.
Venerable. Good morning.
Good to
Femi.
see you people
So happy
again.
to have all of you here
Good morning,
with me
sir.
this morning. It's a very special weekend and month end. I hope we enjoy our month, January. All right, thank you, viewers. Don't forget to call in using the phone number on your screen to share your thoughts or send your comments to our various social media platforms. Today's special discussion is on the topic: should politicians use the pulpit as a tool for political campaigns or promotion? So this morning I want to start with this question that has been hurting me. What are your thoughts regarding politicians and how they use the pulpit?
I think we need some bit of clarifications. Number one, politicians are not using the pulpit.
Okay.
Pulpits in Orthodox churches are different from Lectern. Pulpit are meant for delivering of sermon, preaching of the gospel of the kingdom. Lectern is for reading and for announcements, if there's need to make announcements. That is number one. Number two, we need to understand especially our church. I see the two churches that were principally showed in the clip were Anglican Church and the Roman Catholic Church. I belong to the Anglican Church, and we need to understand the connection between Anglicanism and the seat of power in England. Our church came out of the Church of England and to us here. There has always been this connection between the palace and the church. There is this collaboration between the church and the people in authority. So it is a kind of symbiotic relationship where the church is able to speak to those in authority, and those in authority seize every opportunity they have to explain to the church what they are doing, what is their policy, and the direction they are going. So that is why, because of this relationship, whenever symbols of authority, figureheads in terms of politics, visits the church, they are recognized, and most of the time they are officially given opportunity to say something.
Absolutely.
It's a question of making them to give account of their stewardship, because the church is filled up with people, citizens that voted them, and the church is always a mixed bag when it comes to political alienations. Is that the right word? That is what I'm trying to say is that in the church you have members of virtually all the political affiliations. Yes, that is the word I wanted to use, political affiliation. So you have members of all political parties present in the church. So it doesn't matter who is in power, whether it's APC or PDP or Labour,
and others.
Is when they come, it's an opportunity given to them to give account to the people, to let the people know what they are doing. And when it comes to the pulpit, the bishop or the priest is also able to speak to them while they are sitting on the pew.
More convenient.
So there's a correction we need to make between the word use of the pulpit. And by the way, politicians can use any opportunity they have to sell their own ambition or to clear issues. And that is what you see was happening in all those video clips that were shown. So, to a large extent, what I'm driving at is that the church cannot be crucified for allowing a governor who visited a church to speak to his people. Every member of that very church, belonging to different political parties, are his subjects.
Thank you very much, Venerable. With this answer you've given, I think there won't be need for my next question, but I'll still say it so that at least you hear me, but you've already answered it. Are there potential consequences of allowing politicians to use the pulpit for campaign purposes, and how might this impact the church's reputation and influence? But like I said, what you've explained now shows that the church and the politicians are not totally apart. Of course, whatever the church will tell the politicians is for the good of the people, and the politicians to come into the church is for them to be able to say or be accountable.
When we are saying the church should speak to people in authority, it's when we gather in the church and we are lucky to have them present that we can do that one better.
Yes.
Because you are able to speak to them one-on-one. Once they leave, you may not be able to enter the State House.
Of course.
Yes, or Aso Rock. So, but if they come on their own, then it's an opportunity for the pastor to address.
Exercise his own authority within
and that is where I will appeal to leaders of churches that they should not waste the pulpit. Whenever politicians are available, don't change your sermon. Speak on matter of fairness, on matter of justice, on matter of equity, on matter of good governance, on matter of social justice. That is the best school that politicians can go to when they are in power. Then we should not also be unfair on the politicians. If they want to give account to the people, they should be given the opportunity to render account to the people, because the people in the church, as I said earlier on, are citizens. They are the electorate who voted them, so they should be able to speak with them. What I will not totally subscribe to is the priest using the pulpit to play partisan politics. And again, we should draw a line between a priest condemning the evil that is running in the society. If a priest comes to the pulpit and is condemning bad governance, people should not interpret it to mean that because he has sympathy for Labour or he has sympathy for PDP, that is why he's condemning APC in power. They should not see it from that angle. The priest should be able, the priest or the bishop or the pastor or the imam, whichever case it is, should be able to speak to people in authority.
Okay, thank you.
And with the intent of correcting them.
You're right. Thank you very much, Venerable. Before my co-anchor will take the lead or ask the next question, I want to share a thought concerning what you just said. I was invited to a church sometime, and it was during election. The man of God, I will not be precise now, was basically telling the church, you must vote for this particular party. And I was like, is this supposed to really be? So you've confirmed it now.
Now, again, you see the trend. You see, the society, you cannot divorce the church from the society.
Okay, so sorry,
now,
we have a call already. Let's attend to this before you continue.
Hello.
Hello, good morning and welcome to ACNNTV show.
Madam, I'm calling from Abuja.
Venerable Eze, you're welcome.
Let me Reverend Is that the family of hour of prayer?
Yeah, you are right.
I like watching it.
Okay, Femi is commending you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, I want to play my honorable interest. Now, as Christians, we find our role as a people. Do we want to play politics or do we want to carry out our mandate as Christians? There are two ways about it. We were talking about the other side, and the man who can say this time. Let us not be political with you. We are two people. We just have a politician. We play politics. If a governor wants to enter a country, he has the stuff, not the church. We use the platform of the church. That is why we get it wrong. That is not the time we want to speak to power. Nathan did not wait for David to come to him. Nathan went to David and told him what God said. You are the man in office, in power. And that brought about repentance to David. So let's not make clear of politics in any guy. I don't like the idea of people not standing friends with their body. The pulpit is a sacred place where God uses it to put sinners, continue to affect the baptism to go to them. That is the role of the pulpit. It is not meant for everyone. It is not for them to fight. So if you want to play anything for people, go to their political meeting. We can, okay, for instance, now, if Venerable wants to see the primate of Nigeria now, and we say a minister wants to see, I can assure you that the primate of Nigeria will give you more time, more recognition, more than Venerable. That's how we have to do ourselves. The same thing with Venerable. If I want to see him now, and we say want to, I can assure you that he will give more attention. And in fact, he will give him more attention more than he gives you. That is how far we have told ourselves to government and politics and politicians. Now, anytime a church is doing something, you want to invite politicians to come and on the altar to talk. That is very wrong. You can't stop God and Mammon. Let us distance ourselves from people so that we can tell them the truth. I don't believe in this way that the politicians, if he comes to church, let him listen to the word of God and go. It is not in the fact that he will render account to people. He has the topic, he has the straight topic to make. So that the church is when the people tell them the truth as supposed to be. So my dear friend, stop dancing around this thing. The pulpit is not meant for politicians.
I think I beg to cut in at this time. I beg to cut in at this time. Because no, I beg to cut in at this time. You are speaking as an individual. You are entitled to your opinion. First of all, your call was not very clear, but we are struggling to get what you are trying to say. I made a clear-cut definition between the pulpit and the lectern. If it pleases the leadership of the church to allow a dignitary to speak, a visitor to speak, I don't think anything is wrong with that. That is not using the pulpit to play politics. Using the pulpit to play politics is when a pastor, instead of preaching the gospel, preaching the word of God, has converted the pulpit to what is it called? Playing politics, trying to project a particular party. And I wanted to say something before the call came in, and this is what I wanted to address. Okay. That you cannot even divorce the church from the society where the church is. What am I trying to say? You know, somebody was saying here that a particular person was speaking and saying, this is the party.
Of course, I was
the
there,
pastor was saying, this is the party we should vote for. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Yes. So that the caller can understand the setting and the context under which the church is operating. Was the caller not in Nigeria when people advocated for Muslim ticket? Have you not been in Nigeria to see the kind of marginalization, the influence of one religion over others in Nigeria? It is as a result of forcing Muslim ticket, the sensitivity that surrounds that very Muslim ticket idea that they forced down the throat of Nigeria. That is what made pastors to come out They all came out to say, this time we are against Muslim ticket. This is not an Islamic nation. This is a secular nation. And they decided to guide their congregation to vote for a political party that they know will stand for justice. What justice are you going to get from a Muslim ticket? Let's be frank. So I completely disagree with any person condemning the church for what happened in 2023. Before 2023, the political environment was charged because people who are insensitive about religion decided to bring religious card on the table, and they wanted to do what they call winner takes it all. And Christians who are not slaves, we are not second-class citizens in this country, for the first time have to come up. Pastors have to come up to begin to sensitize the congregations. So Christians should not come out to condemn fellow Christians for doing that when they're supposed to do it.
Okay, of course, definitely there is a thin line between these two.
All right.
When the purpose is for edification, it's very important. So over to you.
All right, sir. You permit me to go the memory lane. Lectern or pulpit, whichever one. Let's put it straight now. Okay, lectern. In the context of our discussion, Bishop Emmanuel Bolanle Bonigi, the former bishop of Akure Diocese, who is now around 93 years of age. He
was the one who made me a priest.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yes.
Good.
He was invited to Benin Diocese. Good. And he priested me.
Baba Bonigi, during the former governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Agagu, who is now late, put it straight. He said, my church, that's the Diocese of Akure, is not a campaign ground for any politician.
Of course.
Whatever you want to tell us from radio stations, TV stations, or from your campaign ground. Any priest that avails such a privilege is gone in Akure Diocese. So I are taking my time to look at it very well, awesomely, that whoever you are, he took up then former governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Agagu, and say, all you can just do is that we have the governor here. Governor, thank you for coming. God bless you. No, as still to avail him the privilege to stand on our lectern and say what, the moment you give a man a mic, you can't control what he says, especially somebody with power.
Absolutely.
So, sir, as a clergyman in this church, not just a clergyman, an experienced one at that, for that matter, what do you have to say to that of Baba Bonigi?
Now, see, you are referring to an era. I know Baba Bonigi very well. He's a very well-respected bishop and a church father whom all of us respect. And like as I told you, Bonigi priested me. So I dub my car for him any day. He's one of the very revered priests, even though retired. I have a lot of respect for him. But you need to know the battle some of us, by the grace of God, I became the pioneer director for civic and political affairs for the Church of Nigeria in 2011, and this is 15 years running. You need to understand the battle I've had to go through to make Christians to know that they cannot stay away and say we are praying and we are not interested in politics. There are some bishops, there are some fathers in the Lord, there are some venerables, there are some priests who believe today that as far as they are not politicians, they are not to talk about politics. In fact, some of them don't even vote. They don't vote, but they are in their parlor running commentary on government. They don't encourage their members to join politics. It's very wrong that you are in the church is not of the world, but the church is operating in the world. The church cannot run away from the society. Where was Martin Luther preaching from against government?
Church.
People like Desmond Tutu of South Africa that fought apartheid and brought it to a standstill. Where were they speaking from?
Hold on, Venerable. We have another caller in the house already.
Hello?
Hello. Welcome back, Venerable AZ.
Hello?
All right, welcome back.
Yes, my name is Frank Aze. I'm calling back. Thank you Reverend Femi.
Okay, Van
for that.
Eze, you're welcome.
That is how it is. The pulpit is a sacred place, I think, and I stand by it. If you have anything to tell us as a government, as a minister, go to the station, go to your newspaper. If a pastor, if a government comes to church, maybe just recognize him and support him for coming. To tell us what that is. That is the problem. That's the problem. I'm talking about the living people. But what we have now, even when the pastors came out and they said their members, what do we have to do? Is it not the Muslim people? That means that we have no role in politics. The mandate of the church
is because Christians don't hear word. It's because many Christians are not ready to do what they are being told to do.
The things we are trying to fight out will not be fighting it out.
Just to have time, so let's
our mandate is cut out for us by Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, our leader, was the one that wanted to make him a king. I ran away from the Jews so that he will not make his mandate. Why are we running towards our Father and Jesus, our leader, ran away from? Why are we running? Why are you trying to become politicians so that we can correct society? No, you don't need to be president to correct society. Christians can be involved in governance, not in politics. For instance, for example, you are in you are National Assembly, you are the National Assembly. Use your pulpit there and put salvation to your party. How many times have you met Abadi and saying that some of the conferences are against the Nigerian mass? Have you done that? Starting from you. That's what we're saying. That was the practical activity.
No, what did you say about the National Assembly? I need to get him because the sound is not clear.
The governor has to do on our pulpit. Any governor that comes to my church will stand with the constitution and bring the congregation and go home. That anything wants to address, let him address it from the topic. That's what we're saying. Thank you, Reverend Freddy, for that. Baba Bonita made it straight. And those are leaders that we should be emulating. We don't have such leaders today. I ask you the question. If I am want to see you, who will you pay attention? You will pay attention to me, not in your fellow pastors. That is how far we have betrayed ourselves.
Unfortunately, your network is quite
your
bad.
network
is
bad. I'm only struggling to hear you. So I'm only struggling. See, I'm only struggling to hear you, and I cannot respond appropriately to what or effectively to what I did not hear clearly. When you talk about National Assembly, you see sometimes some of you sit down at the corner, you don't know what is happening in Nigeria. I'm chaplain to the National Assembly. You are talking about Akpabio. What you don't understand is that for the 4 years tenure, I might not be privileged to be able to see Akpabio at all. Of course. Except you don't know the kind of security and the way politicians have insulated themselves in the National Assembly. Like in the report I just made to the primate during the director's briefing, I said, we still go to the National Assembly to pray for and admonish the ones who open their doors to us to reach them. Of course. If politicians in the National Assembly don't want you to reach them, I have my ID card. I'm chaplain there. You can't reach them. You need to understand that. I give you an example. I don't want to mention name. There was an Anglican, one of the topmost Anglican politicians, a principal officer in the National Assembly. For 8 years, I could not visit him as a chaplain. It got to a point where I have to appeal to Senator Mao Nwambua. Speak to this man in the chamber. I want to speak to him. He's the most senior ranking Anglican politician in the National Assembly. Why can't I see him? Senator Mao went ahead, spoke with this man in the chambers, and called me to say, go to his office and wait for us. I went there, cleared with the DSS, and they gave me, after the clearance, they asked me to sit there. I waited for an hour when they closed from the National Assembly, because Van Eze need to understand this. The man returned to his office, and at a point, I saw Senator Mao came out from his office and beckoned on me. I thought, oh, this is opportunity to finally see this man in 8 years. Do you know what happened? Senator Mao said, Venerable, let's go to my office, we will discuss. When we got to his office, I said, what is going on? He said he spoke with the man and even told him the chaplain is already waiting in his office. When they got to the office, they entered his room. He said, you see, I don't want to see the Venerable now. He can arrange on another occasion when he will come and make it a more formal courtesy call where he will come with camera and come with people. And he still denied me from seeing him. So you need to understand what is happening in the National Assembly. A person that are referring to now like Senator Mao will never start any legislative week without asking me, come and pray for me. And I will go there on Tuesday morning, pray for him, admonish him on how to stand for what is right, stand for justice, and make him remember people voted you in. Don't forget them. Now, that is how it runs. So tomorrow, you want to tell me if that politician comes to the church. Hold on, because
attend to this caller.
let me finish because there's an issue we are addressing. The person can call back. Now, the person can call back.
Have a caller.
Now, when that politician who have denied me access for 8 years, finally.
Hello, sir. Yeah, Venerable, I'm calling from Delta State. I want to thank God for the life of my brother and my namesake, Venerable Joseph. My name is Venerable Joseph.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the way.
We are meant to be leaders. And I love this program. The man that was criticizing the church, what is he going to talk about the Reverend Father who is the governor?
Okay.
You can't beat them outside. I pity some of us who are priests that are cowards, who will come out to criticize the church, and we will go behind and collect whatever we want to collect. The truth is that every clergyman belongs to a particular politics. There's no doubt about it. So Nigeria is changing, and there's no way we will allow them to Islamize Nigeria. Yes, we are serving the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not the God of Ishmael. Thank you very much, sir. And that is my contribution.
Joseph, you're welcome.
Thank you, my namesake, for your commendation for this program. I think the people out there need more understanding. Christians need more understanding. If you distance yourself from politics the way we think we should do it, you can never influence it.
Of course.
These 15 years of being director for political affairs have opened my eyes. I've interacted with politicians. I know how their mind works. So what I was saying, if that person who denied me access, an Anglican who denied me access because he's a principal officer in the National Assembly, finally comes to church, what priest I'm encouraging priest to do, if he comes to church, I'm going to flay him. I'm going to give him the word of God that he will never forget for the rest of his life. A person like the person criticizing from outside, if he have the microphone to preach, if the governor is there, he will not speak the way he's speaking now. People like me that you are criticizing will speak. I will look at the governor and speak. I preached when I was in Benin. I preached when a deputy governor, Ojadome, was seated, and immediately the matter was taken up in the National Assembly. It led to the dismantling of the task force that was harassing every person in our state. I have spoken directly to governor, to senators, to correct them. But you don't say that we should not give courtesy at all to leaders. Do you know in the hierarchy of Nigeria society, the person you are saying, don't allow him to, can close down that your church. Do you know that?
Of course.
By virtue of his instrument of office, he can decide to frustrate your system. He can decide to come up with a law tomorrow that will not allow you to even preach. So you see, the matter of politics is not something we handle with insensitivity. You cannot tell a king when to speak and when not to speak. That is why he's a king. A governor is a king in Nigeria constitution. In fact, the governor is a kingmaker. He makes other kings. That is why he's the one who gives them staff of office. You cannot tell such a person, don't speak in this very place. No. What is he saying? That is the issue. What he has said, what was the response of the pastor? What was the response of the bishop? That should be the case. I don't want to belong to a class of some church fathers who over the years lecture the congregation, lecture their followers to abandon politics, not to participate. They say politics is a dirty game, and so we leave it for dirty people to play it, and we get the dirty results.
Sir, let me quickly ask this. Sir. Very important. We have a question here, very, very, very important. That some people are of the opinion that it is because of the financial benefits, sir, derived by some priests, quote unquote, is the reason why they just let loose guard, let out the door of their lectern to be used to whip up sentiment or as a political campaign ground for some politicians, not minding because of the benefits, greasing their palms.
Let me tell you. I said that at the beginning, I didn't know we would get to this place, that this is a hustling generation. Even among the priests, there are some of them hustling for money. There are some of them who could have been in the pulpit if they had alternative job to do. So we cannot use that as a standard or a yardstick for measurement for all priests, for all bishops. There are bishops that are doing the right thing. There are priests that are doing the right thing. That is what I'm saying. Now, look at all the clips that were shown. Why did we not show the clip of where the same weekend went to a church in Rivers and was angry that he was not recognized? And he was quarreling openly that as an SY governor, they're supposed to recognize him, and he was not recognized. Did that not happen in Anglican Church?
Yes, that will make me ask you, sir.
We should be able to strike a balance.
That will make me ask you that, sir. Don't you think that as it's going, that the integrity of the church is becoming dwindling day by day? Because what you mentioned, the FCT minister went to a church and Bishop Okojaja refused to recognize him because he's an East-wide governor, because we have the incumbent. He even came late. He came late, the governor was seated, Fubara was seated, and he came late, and he wants to be also recognized as a governor. A former governor, for that matter, wants to be recognized, and also he wants to talk after the governor of the state has spoken. But Bishop Okojaja refused to recognize him, and he went ahead, sir, to the reception of that program and spoke ill and, in fact, embarrassed Bishop Okojaja. The integrity of the church, sir, to me, is becoming dwindling and being soiled day by day.
The integrity of the church is not soiled in any way here. Thank God you are referring to my friend and my father in the Lord, Bishop Okojaja. As far as divine worship is concerned, he is the moderator. He knew what he did. And he did the right thing. There can be no two kings in one state. There can be no two governors sitting at the same time. When Wike was governor, he was recognizing him and giving him the privilege to address his people. Now there's another governor that is on seat. He recognized him. He gave him the same opportunity to address the people, the same opportunity given to the previous one. So it was wrong for the SY governor to criticize him and criticize the church for that. He is supposed to have calmed down. But let me even say it.
All right, sir.
I think Rivers issue is not a good reference. I'm very sorry to say.
I think
all the governors that have emerged from Rivers of recent, they talk too much. They all talk too much.
They're malicious.
They talk with anger. They attack themselves openly, which is not the best. They use some vulgar language anywhere they found the opportunity, whether it's in the church or anywhere. No one can encourage that. That should not, because they talk anyhow, should not make it a reference. For instance, we went to standing committee in Neke.
Yes, sir.
The governor, the present governor, I think, is it Uba?
Yes.
Uba came to
Enugu.
Yes, of Enugu.
Yes.
Came to address all the bishops of the Church of Nigeria. And it took time to enumerate to them what his own kind of perception about governance, what he is doing to make life better for his people, sector by sector, sector by sector. And at the end of the day, the leadership of our church and the bishop encourage him to say, you are doing the right thing, please continue in that direction. That is the kind of collaboration we are talking about. Not you give a governor opportunity to address the people, to greet his people, then he's using vulgar language, he's quarreling, and they insulting people, insulting the church, insulting everyone. Last we are seeing it in Rivers. River is not a good example. I don't know why most of their leaders are talking that way. So it's not a good example. So no one should condemn the church. What I'm saying is that the church have a relationship with the state.
Of course.
And the church is part of the society. Drawing line of demarcation can only put the church on the edge. Do you understand? You can only put the church on the edge. If you disregard the leader, you did not accord him the kind of honor that he deserves. Tomorrow you think you go and speak on the bishop charge or do communique and you think he will pick anything from it. No.
You are right.
If they on their own, God's spirit leads them to come. Do you know that I know of a president of Anglican extraction that was president in this country, and for good 4 years he never worshiped in any Anglican church or attended any Anglican program.
Wow.
But at the 4th year, when he was to leave office and he want to contest for the next tenure, he suddenly appeared in one of our churches. I don't want to mention it.
Yes.
And I say, you see, he don't come.
Yes.
Because election is around the corner. So some of these people may not even come to listen to the word of God. They may not listen to your sermon that you think you are preaching. So if the Spirit of God brings them in, that is why I said it's an opportunity. The priest, the bishop, the pastor should not waste the pulpit. Tell them the truth and nothing but the truth. We have good references. Bishop Bonekme retired of Ika Diocese when he was Archdeacon of Ekpoma, now Esan Archdeacon, then now Esan Diocese. The former vice president, Augustus Aikhomu, during Babajida time, came and was sitting at the front seat. Bishop Bonekme looked at him and said, you people are the people that nullified June 12 election. You brought trouble upon Nigeria, and Nigerians are not happy with you people. He got angry, rejected the knighthood, and then went home and sent soldiers to come and beat Onekme up. Thank God some people were able to intervene in the matter. But I done my cap for Bishop Onekme. He did not waste the pulpit. There are priests who are still doing that. That is what I do. But because the church recognize somebody, if, for instance, Tinubu decide to visit Anglican tomorrow and worship in the cathedral, and the primate recognize him and give him microphone to address Nigerians, then you say the primate is a politician or is compromising the pulpit? No. The pulpit is the pulpit. It is the priest that use the pulpit. When during announcement and all that, it pleases the leader of the church to ask the politician to greet the people, and he decide to greet the people, and he use the opportunity to give some account of what he's doing or what he intend to do, that the church should not be condemned for that. That is what I'm saying. Then the Christians no criticizing from behind. When it comes to election, let them participate. You cannot sit on the fence and say you are praying. You cannot be more a prayer warrior than myself. I'm a deliverance minister. But I vote. I have my card. I sensitize people around me on to do the right thing when it comes to election time. That should be what the church should do. We should not be quick at condemning the church.
Thank you very much, Venerable. This is from your office directly. That is why it's quite upsetting. We understand.
Yes, and again, it's very upsetting because we are in a political environment that is very sensitive, where one religion is dominating and want to have it all. Go to civil service. Go to anywhere you think of. They have taken over everything. They are not making noise. They are not making noise. But Christians, everyone is talking, criticizing from the background, and yet they have no solution.
Femi, please, over to you.
All right, we have a comment from one of our viewers. He said the church is more accommodating than some other religions. Than some other religious communities. Politicians and others would always appear before the church congregation because we always assume we are one. Politicians see every congregational opportunity to say their minds, no matter who is hot or happy. The harvest and other fundraising events have always been the opportunities where politicians come to donate and say whatever they have. The recent verbal wars between Wike and Fubara is because of the abnormalities in Rivers State over the years. As I've always said, Wike don't buy phone and put SIM without registration. That is easy from Abuja. So he said Wike don't buy phone, and he has put SIM without registering it with the NCC. Venerable sir, quickly, may I quickly ask that the way it's going now, as a referred clergyman and an experienced one for that matter, what will you have to say to priests who are your colleagues? I mean, you have been over 30 years in this priesthood vocation. What will you say to priests that the supposed mindset of viewers that the church is too lenient, the priests are, because we want Wike to give us money, we want some governors to donate handsomely, so we will keep quiet and see them just twant the church, just say anything to us, and we just fold our hands because we must see money in our synods, we will have money, we need money in our harvest, and we need money donation in some of the events we put up, and then that they talking to us is not on our concern. As a venerable sir, what will you have to say to your colleagues who are priests, how they should mount guards and be very careful and swift who they give the microphone, and of course how they use the pulpit to also further affect the life of these office holders? Thank you, sir.
Let me say this. I've carefully discovered that philanthropists don't make too much noise. Good philanthropists, people who really give, people who support the work of God, they don't make so much noise. So it is even those who do not give anything, who do not give much to the church, that makes the loudest noise. That is number one. Then number two, I want every priest to understand that the church of God can survive without any person. The church has been established upon a solid foundation, and the gate of hell cannot prevail against it. So no matter the economic situation of your church, I want you to be assured that if you are a child of God and you are doing the right thing, that church will survive. Those projects will survive. I give you an example. Some years ago, in one St. Peter's Church, Oka in Benin, I was vicar, and the number 4 Ogboni lady, Ogboni confraternity woman in Nigeria, then chairperson, Market Women Association for the whole country, died. And they said they were bringing her for burial in my church on Saturday, and the funeral, the outing service will be on Sunday, which we call the Thanksgiving. Yes, and they said they were going to give us 450,000 to seal our church. I say, on what basis? She's not a member of our church. They said the late mother was a Iyeko in that church. So that church, they call it family church.
Oh, really?
I say she's not part of this family. She's part of Ogboni confraternity family. And to worsen the whole thing, there was an advert on EBS NTA in Edo State then that the funeral service of this woman will commence on Thursday with a procession from Urokpata Hall in Ring Road in Benin all the way to Upper Sankpoba by Ogboni confraternity. And that Ogboni and all those things will do all this, their ceremony and their something in the house on Friday. Then On Saturday, they will bring the body to St. Peter's Church for burial. And on Sunday, they will come and do Thanksgiving. I say, which church? Which church? On that very day, I locked the gate. I locked the gate against them. Because some of the people criticized don't know what some of us did
yes, sir.
to make us become director for political. I locked the gate against them. And I told them, you are from different jurisdiction. You cannot come. And they told me, let one bishop, I don't want to mention it, they went to their house when I locked the gate against them. And they gave the 400,000 to the pastor, a Pentecostal pastor. So now, there's no time. Otherwise, I would have given you more details about that. What I want the pastors to know is that the church can survive without the donation from politicians.
That's great.
Yes. So, but we should give courtesy to whom courtesy is due. We are not an irresponsible church.
Thank you very much, Venerable. This is absolutely the truth. You just back this up with your last word to the viewers in 30 seconds, if not less than.
Let Christians wake up and participate in politics because you belong to the society. If you ignore politics, then you get the result from the bad people whom you leave it for to handle. So you cannot sit on the fence and not participate. And for pastors, exercise discretion. Give honor to whom honor is due. When there are politicians in the church, don't change your sermon. Preach the word of God. It's an opportunity to address them. And if you are led by the Spirit of God to give them opportunity to address, do. But politicians, you know that the abuse of microphone is not the best.
Okay, thank you very much, Venerable. The word have heard you loud and clear. The leaders we employ or we vote for to lead us are humans like us. Let's be able to tell them the truth that is necessary at the right time. I think that is a simple message you're passing across. It's not an abuse of the pulpit. And those who abuse the pulpit ministers, please take dressing.
Are people who they see politicians, they change their message. That is abuse.
Okay, thank you very much for adding that. And I would just want to take your last point.
All right, thank you, Princess. I will say, viewers, that to priests, with all due respect, and to Church of God, that as much as we are called honor, let us draw a line between courtesy and undue or unhealthy favoritism accorded to politicians. It is affecting the church. May God help us.
Amen. Thank you very much, Femi, for that wonderful prayer point. May God help us. Obviously, like our Venerable said earlier, the background of some of these leaders are questionable. And that is the reason why you see there is a lot of problem in our society. No leader can give what they don't have. A lot of leaders are far backward from what moral have to offer. And that is why they keep misbehaving, stealing, and increasing in corruption. All right, viewers, we have come to the end of today's discussion. Meanwhile, my warmest thanks to our distinguished guests in the house. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Justice, as usual, we really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge on today's program. And also to my co-anchor, thank you so much,
you,
Femi.
Princess.
Thank you for doing the best you can. And to our amazing viewers, we have come to the end of today. We appreciate all your comments, all the calls. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us. We have come to the end of today's program on ACNNTV now streaming program. Till we come your way again with another beautiful topic on the same station and same time next week. Happy weekend, and we wish you a happy new month to come. And kindly stay safe. I remain Princess Clement. Bye for now.